Okay, hello and welcome. It's wonderful to have you all here today. And before we begin, I would like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the people of Marmu country in North Queensland. And I'd also like to pay my respects to traditional owners, past and present, right across Australia and the Torres Strait. Well, I'm so excited to have you all here for our session today. We have a very special guest joining us, and she's going to be talking to you all about PR and media and what journalists are looking for and how you can stand out and what to do, the steps to take to get your story picked up and featured in newspapers, radio, podcasts, and even TV. So I'm so excited to have Candice here. We have been working with Candice for probably 10 years or more, and she has helped us get media all over the world as well. So I am very pleased to introduce you to Candice. Hi, Candice, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, thank you for having me today.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure. And we have worked together over 10 years, and the PR landscape and media in general has changed so much, and especially now with AI, which is what we're going to be discussing today.
Yeah, incredible. It's amazing all the changes that are happening and really exciting to have you here to keep us up to date with all of that. So, Candice, we'll go through your presentation, and should we keep questions till the end, or
Yes,
what
please.
do
That
you
would
like?
be great. Thank you.
Yes. Please just jot down questions that you have, and then we'll have a little bit of time for a chat at the end. All
Great.
right, over to you, Candice.
Great. So today I'm going to teach you how founders can use earned and paid media to scale your business faster. And we're also going to be learning more about AR visibility because it is very useful nowadays. And we're going to touch on SEO as well. So I'm going to start. Have you thrown your money at marketing but still feel invisible? Today, I'm going to be discussing with you marketing communications, PR, SEO, and AR visibility because many businesses, no matter what size you are, have a gap, which is known as a visibility gap. So, I'm briefly going to just explain this to you. So, marketing and paid media sit separately, PR and earned media sit separately. SEO is separate, and GEO and AEO, which is obviously new, sit separately. Your sales team is separate, and communication is separate. And this causes something called the visibility gap, which is why many people see that their marketing or their PR is not working. So the three lenses that have shaped my visibility system, which I'm going to be teaching to you today, is I worked inside large brands. I originally studied a Bachelor of Business honors degree in marketing in South Africa. Before I went overseas and worked in London in marketing, I worked for global organizations to manage their marketing communications and PR. And this gave me insight into managing agencies from the client side, aligning marketing, PR, and communications with business outcomes, working across Europe, the UK, the US, and APAC, and seeing where traditional agency models missed the commercial picture. I then worked across two PR agencies in Australia and I built and led them. So I specifically supported founders, startups, and growing businesses, which is how I know Peace and Katie. And I've worked with many Ozmonpreneurs and Women Changing the World finalists and winners. And from the agency perspective, I saw that earned media campaigns across industries were great for founders specifically because you use your story, your thought leadership, and any expert articles to get into the media. And this is all free. So it's something you can either do yourself. So you can write your own press releases. You can use AI to help you to edit them or to help you to craft them. You can write thought leadership pieces and then you can pitch these to media. So you can contact journalists or producers if you want to get on TV, if you want to be on the radio, then radio producers. Online would be journalists and editors that you're targeting, and print would be also editors and journalists in print publications. You may also have an industry journal or a B2B publication that you want to be featured in. And again, all you need to do is pitch to the editor or journalist. The strongest thing that you have is your story. Generally, I recommend writing your story out in 600 to 800 words, and you can get AI to check it. It's really important to be in your voice and to be authentic. And you can pitch this as a starting point. If you have already pitched your story to media, then what you can do is you can look into pitching if you have a product, media gifting your product and sending out a press release about your product. The same if you're able to offer this for a service. Thought leadership pieces are massive, and we're going to learn why and how they are so important for SEO and AI. So, thought leadership pieces, it's really important to be putting those on your LinkedIn and also to send those to media, and then tips and content that's educational. The media love these, and it's how you build a relationship with them as well. So that is what I did to get results for my clients. So I've had thousands of clients on TV, radio, print, online with millions of dollars of coverage. So I've positioned founders as spokespeople. And when you know your PR agency has done a good job, it's when the media comes directly to you. So your PR agency should not actually set out to work with you for 5 years. Within 6 months to a year, if you're working on an ongoing basis, or sometimes even from one ad hoc campaign, the media will save your number, save which area you're an expert in. So for example, if you're a psychologist or a psychiatrist, they'll come to you as a go-to expert in that specific industry. I've worked alongside internal marketing teams and external marketing agencies, and I saw how fragmented marketing communications and PR are and how this slows results. It showed me that visibility often fails not because of effort, but because of disconnected execution. So it's really important, no matter what size business you are, to make sure that all your departments and all your teams are talking to each other about exactly what marketing, PR, comps, so any kind of communication that's going out, and also sales, include your sales teams in these conversations so that you don't get that visibility gap. I'm now founder and fractional marketing. I'm calling myself a marketing communications expert. So my official title is fractional chief marketing and communications officer. So I'm still consulting to Reconnect PR, but I'm also doing fractional marketing communications work on my own. My focus is to close visibility gaps for companies by integrating marketing communications and PR into one strategy, which is what I'm going to be teaching you today, aligning earned, paid, owned, and shared media, building authority systems that drive long-term visibility, not just campaigns, and delivering measurable growth through structured amplification. This integrated approach is the foundation of the system that I will share with you today. So, what has shaped my perception is that I've sat on both sides of the table inside global brands, managing agencies, and also working inside agencies. So I've worked closely with marketing teams on both the inside and the outside, and I keep seeing the same gap, as I've said. Marketing's doing one thing, PR another, communications and social media teams another. Sales has no idea what's going on, so they can't use pitches, for example. Oh, if your spokesperson is going to be on the Today Show or on Sunrise or on another TV show, they should be using this as part of their sales pitches. And this is why it's so important that your visibility system is integrated, and we're going to start learning about that now. So there you can go. This is what your team should be doing. So marketing, PR, comms, and sales should always be meeting and talking to each other to close the visibility gap. So the system I'm going to be teaching you today is how to develop marketing communication. So this is both PR and marketing content using the EEAT method. And what this will do is it will help you to get earned media, which is PR, where you create and distribute press releases, thought leadership pieces, your story, and expert content, which is optimized for SEO, GEO, and AEO. You then amplify this with paid media, which falls under marketing. And I'm going to explain to you how you do that today. And this will then improve your SEO, GEO, and AEO so that you can get cited on ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and other AI algorithms, as well as still increase your general SEO because people are still using Google. But as we'll learn, obviously, it's not as big as AI. And this will then increase your sales and leads, and you will get detailed reporting, which will show you the return on investment and results so that you know where to invest when you start this campaign again. So you can keep doing this no matter the size of your business. You can either do it on an ad hoc basis or on an ongoing basis, depending on the business size. So, what has changed in marketing communications? Search behavior is the most important thing that's changed. Users are increasingly receiving answers directly from AI, but Google is still relevant. So people are using a mix of Google and AI. We now live in a zero-click experience. So this means that answers are delivered without site visits. So people are not going to companies' websites as much as they were. So your website traffic may be down. There's a decline in traditional traffic, and we're in something known as the zero click era. There's an increased reliance on authority signals, which is why I'm going to teach you about EEAT content, because trust markers determine the selection, which is why EEAT content is using both earned and paid media in your marketing communications campaigns. And this is really so important for you to be able to move your business forward when it comes to marketing and PR. So, visibility is no longer about being found. To get brand awareness and to become visible, you now need to be selected not by just humans, but by AI too. So, instead of just targeting journalists and producers through PR, we now have to also target AI algorithms. And this is how PR is evolving to more marketing communications, which is a mix and blend of marketing communications and PR. So I'm going to take you back to the marketing mix just so you understand everything I'm going to be discussing today. So some of you may know this. This is a very basic model, but your marketing mix is made up of your target market and the four Ps, which are shown here. So your product, and if you have a service, it's a little bit different, but just you would put your service here. Price, the price, do you have a premium price product, or how are you structuring your pricing? Promotion and place. Earned media, which is PR, was always just a part of the fourth P. AI has changed the game. So, earned media and digital PR have now become the backbone of the fourth P. So, when I've given talks before, and some of you may have heard me talk before, we would have spoken about the four Ps, and I would have told you that the promotion P is advertising, digital marketing. It could even be like dropping physical flyers, printing out flyers. It could be sales promotions. It's social media advertising, social media. PR was only one aspect. And I used to tell you that they all hold hands with each other so that they all need to work together. So it becomes a seamless marketing approach. Today, I'm telling you that the most important one that you need to be working on, either yourself or get someone to help you, is earned media, so traditional PR and digital PR specifically, because this is what's going to increase your AI citation. So you're getting featured by and chosen by AI and will also help your SEO. So it's really becoming the most important part of the four Ps and the promotional piece specifically. So earned media has become foundational. Just one strong earned media placement can improve your brand awareness, your credibility and trust, your SEO and GEO. It can generate social media content, be amplified by paid media. And what I mean by be amplified by paid media is some clients will take, so for example, this man, Stephen Pastor, he is a client. All of the coverage in this presentation, we have got at Reconnect PR for these clients. This is an AFR article that he got both a print and online piece. The online piece was amazing for him because he got SEO from it, he got GEO, he's got brand awareness, credibility, trust, and specifically he can use this as content to use on social media as an ad. So he can amplify it but on social media as an ad. And then there's also some more paid media, which I'll be discussing with you later. It is really important to use PR to strengthen your owned media content. So you put it on your LinkedIn, and all your PR coverage, your media coverage must go on your social media channels. And this helps leads and sales because you're building credibility, trust, and brand awareness. Digital PR is now a non-negotiable marketing tool for all businesses, no matter the size. What is earned media? So, earned media is visibility that your brand receives through independent third party sources rather than paid promotion. It is also known as publicity, and PR or publicist can handle earned media for you. It is when the media talks about your brand because it is newsworthy, relevant, and valuable. So, examples are media coverage, news articles, interviews, TV, radio, print, online, and being interviewed on podcasts. It is easy for you to do on your own or to hire someone to do it for you. Some tips, as I said, share your story, thought leadership pieces, expert articles, anything that's trending. If you write a piece on that and pitch it to the media, that's really important as well. If you've got a product for media, to gift to the media so they can try, and also just to let media know that you're available as an expert and explain why you're an expert. So in your pitch, you'll need to show why you are credible. So, being an expert in the media builds organic credibility and trust for both your brand as a spokesperson and for your business's brand. It strengthens authority and it strengthens SEO, GEO, and AI optimization. So, AEO optimization. This is interesting to both humans, which are journalists and reporters, and machines, the AI algorithms, which are citing the earned media stories. And this is an example of an entrepreneur that we worked with. A skincare founder used ChatGPT to win over Shark Tank judges. He actually created his business plan and his script on, he actually used ChatGPT to do it, and that got picked up by Forbes Australia. Why earned media matters more than ever. We are in a trust recession. Due to AI, we actually don't know what to believe anymore, and we rely on credible and trusted media outlets. So, this is an example of Australian ones. We also work with the UK and the US and pretty much any country in the world we can target. So, just if looking at these, a lot of you would know Marie Claire, you would know Vogue. These are credible media outlets. We believe their content most of the time, unless it's like a fake news hype, which makes us a little bit skeptical, which adds to the trust recession. So, earned media increases brand awareness through storytelling. So, sharing your business's story, the founder story, or we call it the brand origin story, through education. If you're an expert in a certain area and you can educate both your target audience and the media, you can offer these educational pieces either as an opinion thought leadership piece, or you can let them know that you're available to be interviewed on a specific topic. A tip here is when you're pitching, give them 3 to 5 topics that you're available to write on or be interviewed on before you actually go and create these pieces. Give them the choice to choose one, and 3 to 5 is generally the sweet spot that I found that the media will pick up, and they'll choose one out of those 3 to 5 for you to start with. And then thought leadership pieces. So you should be posting on thought leadership on LinkedIn. So that's through just general posts and newsletters because that's going to naturally help your SEO, your GEO, and to get featured on AI. So start doing that. It's free and it's something that you can action as a first starting point for increasing your earned media and helping your SEO and GEO today. And then you can create a press release about being a finalist or about winning the awards. That's another avenue. Sharing your story, thought leadership pieces, or just do a pitch about what topics you're available to be interviewed for. People trust a third party endorsement over an ad. So, obviously, editorial content, earned media, PR is much more credible than an ad. It boosts credibility and trust, and it can generate SEO links. So if we specifically work with you for a campaign in Australia, we can generate from one press release that we send out, we can generate a guaranteed amount of between 100 to 200 SEO backlinks with media publications. The US is larger because it's a larger audience. So if we were to work with you there, then it is 400 to 600. The UK is about 100 to 200, and any other country I can let you know specifically. Google ranks earned media as higher than paid media. So this is why it will help your SEO, because Google made some changes in May 2024, and the changes were that earned media was going to be ranked higher when it comes to SEO than paid media. And AR platforms are also using earned media as trusted sources that they cite. So this is why it is so important to focus on your earned media strategy. And people are going to AR for answers. And if they're searching for a product, service, or someone to help them, or a product or service that they need, they're going to AR, which is why it will increase your leads and your sales. And they're still going to Google, some people as well. So it's important to still make sure that you featured on both, because they are no longer just looking at websites. We're in a zero click era. What the media wants. So here's some tips that journalists were interviewed in the survey, and what kind of content do they most want to receive from PR representatives? And this stands the same if you're doing your own PR. They want to receive, 72% said, news announcements and press releases, because it's everything. You answering your where, what, when, how, who in one article, in one piece of content. Exclusives for stories. So if you have an exclusive survey or something that's you can offer them as an exclusive, you can pitch that. So 57% want exclusives for stories, 55% want original research reports. Those work really well. We always have a lot of success at Reconnect PR when we do campaigns for TV and radio, specifically around new research. What would make you block a PR professional or put them on your don't call list? And this is the same for you if you were pitching to the media yourself. 78% spamming me with irrelevant pitches, 56% providing inaccurate or unsourced information, 59% pitches that sound like marketing brochures, so don't make your content salesy at all, and 52% following up with me repeatedly can get annoying for journalists. So here's some tips on what the media wants. We're now going to be talking about paid media, and you can see that I've put some US logos here and UK logos as well, because paid media, you can also target different countries. So the type of paid media that we are specifically talking about today, which will help your SEO, GEO, and brand awareness, is paid media that amplifies authority content. So it will amplify your press release, your thought leadership piece, your blog content to scale reach and accelerate visibility. This will deliver measurable results. So that's where it differs from PR. With PR, earned media relies heavily on getting picked up by the media, which is why it's so credible and it's not guaranteed. This kind of paid media is guaranteed. You will get, with one campaign, 8 to 10 of these publications, depending on the industry and the country that you are targeting. And these results are measurable. So they do guarantee 70,000 impressions. Most of the campaigns that I've worked on have got 200 to 300,000 impressions for a client for per campaign. And you are guaranteed, you get reporting, and you actually get all the ROI that a marketing campaign will give you. So what we do is we use native editorials. So as I said, your press releases, your story, your thought leadership, and we place that on premium websites in Australia or the UK, Europe or the US. And we can even do countries like the Middle East or Africa, really anywhere in the world, to amplify SEO, GEO, and AEO optimized press releases, announcement, and any thought leadership pieces of content that you would like to amplify. It is guaranteed visibility, and you are guaranteed to reach your audience because you are selecting the industry that you want to target and the region that you want to target. You get amplified across these premium networks, and you can target different countries, markets, and industries. It reinforces credibility and authority signals and supports your SEO, GEO, and AR discoverability. We do send you through a placement and syndication report, which has your impression and audience reach metrics, click-through rates, engagement data, backlinks, and authority signals. So this is why it is paid media. It is very different to PR and earned media. We do campaigns where we do both, like an integrated marketing communications approach, which we call global earned and paid media campaigns across the US, Australia, UK, Europe, or pretty much any other country of your choice. We can promote anything that you write. So, a blog piece, thought leadership piece, your story, a press release, an announcement. And what happens is the content gets placed in one of these channels. So, for example, if you were targeting business in the US, it would get featured in 8 to 10 of these logos over here. If you were targeting news outlets in Australia, it would get featured in 8 to 10 of these publications here. And here's the same for the UK news. So we really can go deep with this kind of paid media, and it is really different to what has been offered in terms of paid media before. It complements earned media and works very closely with PR and complements it because it's taking your PR and amplifying it because it's a native editorial piece. So it's still based on your PR content. It places content within one of these premium publishers' environments to increase brand presence. And all of these have trusted domains. So if you had a look at SEMrush or wherever you check the domain ranking, you will see that all of these domains rank high, which is why it helps with your SEO, with trust, with credibility, and with GEO. It builds visibility across already credible platforms, and 81% of consumers trust content on these publishers' sites. And this is just a snapshot. We've got so many that we can help you with. So this is just one snapshot. Paid media opportunities. So I've just screenshotted a little bit of the report just to show you. So with paid media, an optimized press release. So we optimize the press release for SEO and GEO. And you get, so this person was Australia. They got 275 backlinks, which help their SEO and GEO from us sending out a press release, which is earned media, and then optimizing it through a paid media campaign. In terms of guaranteed visibility, a lot of people want to be in Forbes, especially if they are in the business space and they want to grow their own individual and business profiles through Forbes. So this campaign got 16,106 impressions just with Forbes. So you get guaranteed visibility in media outlets that looks like editorial. And you get to choose the sites as well and the industry. So, for example, Forbes would fall under the business, but there's also entertainment, property, food, there's cars, there's literally every industry you can imagine. And you get to choose your country as well. So, Australia, US, UK, Europe, APAC. You can also do an investor campaign, and this may be really interesting for some of you. If you are looking for investors, you can do a specific targeted paid and earned media campaign to try and target investors in a specific region. So if you're looking to grow your business and go to the US, you can get investors in the US through an investor campaign. If you're looking in Australia, you can do the same thing in Australia, and everything gets reported. So you receive a detailed report as part of this paid media campaign, which measures your return on investment and the performance of the campaign. So this campaign got 246,625 impressions. So far, we've discussed earned and paid media, and I now want to show you why these two are becoming even more powerful in the AI search era. So elevating brand visibility in the AI search area, GEO is generative engine optimization and AEO is answer engine optimization. And here's two examples. They're quite small of a press release. That's a Google Workspace press release that's then been picked up by AI. And here's another example of being picked up by AI. So ChatGPT had 6 billion monthly visits by September 25. Google Gemini had 650 million active users by October 25. Perplexity AI grew 66% in 25 with 22 million active users. Content, as I said earlier, needs to help both humans and machines, so journalists and SEO, GEO machines. Content needs to be tailored so that it gets cited by AI algorithms in their generated responses. And that's what's happened here with Google is it's been generated here in AI, and the same with this press release, it's been generated by AI. So we're going to discuss EEAT. Some of you, especially if you are if you're in the marketing space yourself, or you may have just learned this from an agency or from your marketing team, but most people think EEAT is SEO terminology. I treat it as communication strategy that drives authority across earned, owned, and paid channels. AI search and traditional SEO prioritizes content that is experience. So experience, we're going to go into more detail and I'm going to explain this to you shortly. Expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. So that's what EEAT stands for. And every single piece of content that you write from today forward needs to follow this framework. That's your LinkedIn newsletters, your LinkedIn posts, any long form blog content that you're putting on your blogs or your resource section. You can also create a newsroom on your website with news, which is ranking really well. And you can build these through earned media placements, so PR, optimized press releases, thought leadership content, structured scannable content, so making sure that your blogs that you are posting or your newsroom pieces that you are posting, or some of you may call it resources, are structured and scannable because AI is going to be scanning them. And it's also easy for the human eye to scan well-structured content. If your content is data driven, as I said, the media love this. We get so much pickup when it comes to TV and radio, with surveys, and also online. Digital PR loves data driven insights. Some tips is that the surveys need to be new research. You can't be quoting research from like 6 to 12 months ago. Media amplification campaigns on credible publisher websites, which I just showed you before. So paid media campaigns. So this all builds your EEAT, which is going to help with your SEO, GEO, and brand awareness, and of course your sales. So EEAT is no longer just SEO. It is now the foundation of AI visibility and discoverability. I'm going to now go into detail, and here is just an announcement we did for a female founder in the crypto space. This was focused on Dubai, actually. And here's another female founder. She is actually Australian, and she is in the food and beverage industry. So EEAT and visibility strategy is strategic EEAT content, which is distributed through earned and paid media campaigns. And it will strengthen your SEO, GEO, and AEO, your brand visibility and discoverability, your media coverage and authority signals, trust, credibility, reputation, demand generation, and sales outcomes. Experience. So we discussed that experience is the first E, real world insights and lived expertise that builds authenticity. So this is your story. It is a founder story or the brand origin story, lessons that you've learned as a founder, challenges that you've overcome, offering yourself as a spokesperson and giving expert commentary to media, and any case studies. This all falls under the first E, which is experience. So you need to create experience content for PR, for press releases, for thought leadership pieces, for your blog, your newsroom or resource, whatever you are calling it, and for your LinkedIn. You can also put it on Reddit if you really want to go the next level. Expertise is the next E, and this is demonstrated specialist knowledge and thought leadership. Examples are industry insights, data-driven analysis, so your data and surveys, industry insights. So for example, if there's a specific time of year, so for example, if you're in the retail industry and you are pitching around the end of year sales, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all of that, you would give expertise around those industry insights. Educational content, and expert commentary. The next one is authoritativeness, which is third-party validation that signals credibility to audiences and algorithms. So what this is media coverage, backlinks. If you get a great earned media piece in, for example, in Australia, news.com.au, or in another global publication, that backlink is gold. It is great. It is something that you can't buy. citations in AI, interviews, and LinkedIn authority. And the T is trust. So reliable, transparent, and evidence-based information, research, data, surveys, reputable publications, and consistent messaging all build trust. And this is really if you take one thing out of today, creating EEAT content is the first and most important thing that you should be focusing on from a marketing and comms perspective. Types of content to create as soon as possible to scale your business. Here's an example. That is Rachel Harker. She is a dating and friendship app founder, a female founder that we worked with in the tech space. We have worked with her for a year on her app, and this isn't Daily Telegraph. She also got the online piece as well, and she's done a lot of TV, radio, print, online, and podcasts. So you can do the same for your business, and you can create this type of EEAT content to get this. So press releases that are optimized for SEO, GEO, and AEO, thought leadership content, data-led content, frequently asked questions and answer-driven content, digital PR. So that is getting featured digitally on premium online publications, media features and interviews, which is earned media, media coverage using your story, interviews, expert commentary, newsroom hosted on your website, and paid media amplification campaigns using native editorial. In summary, press releases are more important than ever as they tick every EEAT box. One press release can now secure you 100 to 200 links, which improves your SEO in Australia, and 400 to 600 in the US. Earned media coverage can get you cited by AI models and is ranked highly by Google and Bing. Frequently asked questions and Q&As need to be included in various types of content. So on your blog posts, even on your LinkedIn, put frequently asked questions and Q&As in because it will get picked up by AI. Thought leadership is more important than it has previously been. Digital earned media coverage increases the future visibility of your company, and digital native paid media is a close second to digital earned media coverage. Surveys and research, as well as data-led content, is king. And a reminder that EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust content. And here is an example of Hershey's. They put out Hershey's Dubai Inspired Chocolate Bar, just made your FYP edible and drops December 4th. It's a press release, and they've also put frequently asked questions, and they got picked up by Gemini. So the 5 steps to becoming visible and scaling is the first thing that you need to do is plan. Plan what EEAT content you need to create. So you can use your status as a finalist in the awards coupled with your story to create a press release. You can use your founder story as a press release, or perhaps there's an industry trend or something that's relevant in your industry that you can write a thought leadership piece as an EEAT content piece. Research what your competitors are doing, and also look what data or surveys you can do, any industry trends, and meet with all relevant departments to discuss, because your marketing team may give you great ideas, your sales team may give you great ideas too. Number 2 is to focus on earned media. So create an optimized press release and pitch to earned media. Collate your media coverage and your SEO results and check to see if you have been cited in AI. Number 3 is paid media. So amplify your campaign to increase your visibility, brand awareness, leads, sales, SEO, GEO, and AEO with paid media. And just so you know what's happening with Google Ads, the price of Google Ads is going up because people are competing against each other. So, for example, if you are a dentist and you own a dental clinic in a specific area, you are now paying more for the Google Ads because you're competing with other dentists who are also, so you basically, the dentists are competing and pushing up the price of Google Ads because it is not ranking, because it's not using the EEAT content method, which is why using earned and paid media in an editorial and in a marketing comms framework is more important than ever, because AI really has changed everything. Finding reports. So review your outcomes clearly and share your findings with your marketing, PR, communication, sales, and management teams or agencies so that you know what's working and what's not working, and repeat as regularly as you can. So regularly repeat with new announcements, new press releases, thought leadership, EEAT content to increase your visibility, leads, sales, SEO, GEO, and AEO. And it works depending on the size of your company. If you're in the early stage and you're just in the building the foundation, invest in campaigns that are just ad hoc or quarterly. If you are growing, invest in regular campaigns because AI needs regular content to keep citing, to keep you relevant, and the same with Google. And if you're an established enterprise, obviously every fortnight you can put out some kind of thought leadership or press release. The more EEAT and optimized press releases you pitch, distribute, and amplify via paid media, the faster you will improve your visibility. Visibility is no longer a campaign, it is an infrastructure. The good news is that you can dial these campaigns up and down depending on your budget. Key takeaways: earned and paid media work together. Credibility comes from earned media, and scale comes from the paid amplification using editorial content as native content and getting placed in those credible publishers' websites through paid media. Visibility is now being selected. AI search means brands must become the answer and not just rank. Authority signals discovery. Media coverage, structured content, and repetition across trusted platforms increases your visibility. And structure determines visibility. So content must be clear, scannable, and built for both humans and AI. The goal is no longer just ranking, the goal is becoming the answer. Key takeaways: as a founder and business owner, ensure that your departments communicate and meet regularly to decrease your visibility gap. Today, we started with earned and paid media, but what we've rarely explored is something so much bigger. Visibility has definitely changed. It's no longer just about doing more marketing or chasing individual campaigns. Things have changed. It's not no longer just focusing on Google ads, just focusing on SEO, just paying an agency to do social media ads. You need to build a system that blends marketing, PR, and communications so that your brand earns authority, scales reach, and becomes the answer in an AI-driven world. So that EEAT content, using that in earned and paid media, will lead to leads and sales, which will help you to scale your business more effectively. Most companies don't have a marketing problem, they have a visibility system problem, and the brands that solve this are the ones that will scale. If any of this resonated with you, or if you're still thinking we've been doing a lot of marketing but still feel invisible, come and say hello to me on LinkedIn or connect with me. Thank you. I can now answer any of your
Oh,
questions.
wow. Thank you so much, Candice. That was incredible. So much really, really valuable content on all of the things that we can be doing. Um, but I'd love to get back to basics because I know that we have some people here who've never contacted the media or
Yes,
never like sent out a press release. So I'd
yes.
love to hear your tips on how do you choose who to send your press release to?
Yes. So the first question that you ask is who is your target audience and what media are they consuming? So that's the question that you ask. So I'll repeat that. So who's your target audience and what media are they consuming? So for example, if your target audience is in the retail space and whether you B2B or B2C, you would either be contacting retail media in the B2B space or B2C. So most media outlets have both. So work out if you B2B, B2C, and what media your target audience is consuming. This is across TV, radio, print, online, and podcasts.
Amazing. And then how do you, when you're writing to the journalist, do you need to like find out the specific person's name and that specific person's email address rather than just sending it to the generic
Yes.
publication
So what you
email?
can do is you can use AI or Google or LinkedIn and look up the journalists. So I would recommend probably using AI and Google and searching for the journalists. So depending where you're based in that specific industry and the location that you're wishing to target. Some people may have a business and they just want to target a suburb or they want to target a region. Others may want to be national. So just be very specific when you're prompting AI or when you're putting that search terms into Google, when you're looking for those journalists. If you have Sales Navigator for LinkedIn, you can use that as well.
Mhm, mhm. So I've sent, everyone's received the press release template, but they need to tailor that and put their own story in it. When they're
Yeah.
thinking about their own story, do you have any tips or tricks or for what kind of content's going to capture the journalist's attention?
Yes, so I would recommend changing and customizing the headline so that you're all not sending the same generic headline to everyone, even if you are in different locations. The same, add a subheading. There may be a subheading there, but you can add one in or customize it. Make sure that you localize your location and also the date that you send it. You'll all be sending out different dates. Some of you may have done it, some of you may be doing it today. So just change the date. And then really your stories are all unique and different. So be authentic. Don't be afraid. We all have imposter syndrome at some point. Just share your authentic story. That is what the journalists are looking for. They're not looking for the same story. So just be real and authentic. And keep in mind also at the end, you can write that you are a thought leader or an expert in, and give those 3 to 5 options to the media where they can interview you on those specific topics.
Amazing, amazing. I just realized in the chat I haven't sent out the press releases. They go to the finalists. So sorry, everyone. You'll have to wait till March 6th to find out if you're a finalist, and then you'll receive the press release template. But yeah, and you can literally it's like the framework for you. It includes all of the information about the awards, what they are, why they were created, but there's spaces in there for you to tell your story and talk about what you do, what inspired you, and all of those details as well. Now, Candice, so you attach that as an attachment to an email that goes out. Can we talk about what you put into that email when you're pitching?
Yes, you can do both. It's completely up to you and your style. So you can either attach it and then you can put like a short pitch in. When you're pitching, just keep it short and sweet, one paragraph. I remember, and I think I've spoken before, is my English teacher in high school. She used to tell us to write like 100 word summary, and I thought that would never be useful. And now you can get AI to do that. So you can write your pitch and then you can get AI to edit your pitch into one paragraph because the shorter and sweeter and more concise and factual you keep it, the better. Journalists won't read an essay, they'll just press delete. So
Mhm.
if you and you can introduce yourself in that little paragraph and then attach the press release, or if the press release is strong enough that you feel it doesn't need a pitch, you can just put it as the body of the email.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So then it would be making sure that your subject is has like a research element or your subject is strong enough that they are intrigued and they open it.
Yeah, amazing. Because they do receive lots and lots of pictures every single day.
Correct.
But the
Exactly.
other thing is that they have to come up with new stories every single day as well.
Correct.
So yeah, you
Ex-
need to send out your press release, and not every single one will pick it up, but if you make it interesting, it will catch their attention and someone will run it.
Exactly. And remember, they have to do for their media outlets the exact same thing that you need to do with that EEAT content. They
Mhm.
having the pressure as journalists to write that type of content for their brands. So they need new content. And with AR, they need to put out as much content in the expert and thought leadership space more than ever and fresh content. So it's actually better for us now with the AR world because they need more content. So it works better for people who want PR.
Yeah, I love that. Can we talk a bit about how to become the go-to person
Yeah.
for media?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's building a relationship with the journalists so that when they know that you're sending them a concise email, they know you're sending them value. If you're sending them sales or marketing material, they are not going to want to open your emails. So it's about building that relationship, knowing you, sharing that educational and valuable information. If they do phone you, you move everything to make it work for them because then they're going to do it again. They know that you're easy to work with. You've moved your whole diary for them. You've made it easy for them and they're going to save your number in the phone. So it's like really just making sure that you clear your diary and like get if you on TV get to that TV studio even if you live far away.
Mm.
If you have to fly and pay the cost of a flight. So yeah, just making sure that it's easy, building that relationship, providing educational thought leadership content and providing surveys and trends and newsworthy information. Don't send out anything generic, which is why I said it's really important to customize that heading of the press release that you will be getting if you're a finalist.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Okay, I'd love to open the floor now for questions. If anybody watching has a question. Ellie, hi, jump in. Ellie, are you
Yes,
unmuted?
yes. Sorry, I
Oh, there
just
you
had
are.
to unmute. Thank you so much. I found that really, really interesting. We've been involved in campaigns, and I just wondered, sometimes it wasn't about the engagement, it was about the conversion, And so do you have any relative timelines with all of the AI, like when things kick in? Is it faster or what is your take on how long things are going to take?
I don't think that anyone has an answer. And I think that if people who do have an answer in the AR space are just like not being ethical because it's changing every day and everyone is still trying to get to know AI itself and it's evolving. So we don't know a timeline yet, and no one knows that. It's an
It
evolving.
makes it tricky when I mean you have to budget for,
Yeah, yeah,
and then it's kind of like we've had SEO teams and how long is this going to take? And I mean, we ran with one company for nearly a year and
yeah,
nothing's, and they said we need more time. So I
yeah.
just wondered if you had any ideas on that.
So if generally it's best if you don't have like ongoing budget, like depending on the size of your business, to invest in quarterly or ad hoc campaigns until you know something is working for your business
Okay.
rather than, I know obviously I've run two agencies and I know that agencies do have a bad name in marketing and PR because they do try and sign clients up for like a 12-month retainer. And that's not fair because not all clients are at that level, that medium size or enterprise size company that they need that and they can afford that. And then they don't get the right results. And it gives agencies like a bad
Yeah.
image. So just rather like scale down, see what's working before you commit to a long-term campaign.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And if the agency says no, they're not the right agency, find someone who is going to be more flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
advice. Thank you. Hina has a question. Hi, Hina, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you
Hi.
so much. Thanks so much, Candice. It was really amazing to see how AI has been integrated as well, because usually that's the thing that we want. A lot of people search everything on AI these days.
Yeah.
My question was around the how much is too much? Because I did do like a PR course, but I have been burnt by like the same thing, like the agency story, like you sign up
Yeah.
for 12 months and then, it's not getting you the results. Then you have to be
Yeah.
agile considering your business budget. So I've started sort of reaching out to media journalists myself, but I just really want to know like how much is too much. Like, I don't want to turn them off like, oh, she's sending me articles like every week.
Yeah.
So is there like a guideline? Like,
Yeah. So I would recommend when contacting the media, like aim for one strong angle a month. You don't want to annoy them and damage the relationship for when you do have good content. So one per week is definitely too much. If you're a bigger company and you've got multiple brands, I would say one every fortnight. But if it's just one brand and one company, then one per month in terms of a strong angle is what you should be aiming for. And putting other content out on LinkedIn, on your blog, that's all going to be really important for both earned and the AI and SEO.
perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't sent once per week, but I just thought that
Yeah,
it would be good to know that,
yeah.
what's a good number. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can still put out like a piece of content every week, just one on LinkedIn, one to the media, one on the blog, and then one on, for example, Reddit is also ranking really well. So just see where it works, one in your newsletter to your database, and just choose the strongest one for media.
Perfect. That makes sense. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Hina. Tanya has a question.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I missed the beginning. I'm so sorry. Oh, where's my video? My video's not playing. Apologize, but can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Oh,
There you
there we go.
are. Hi.
Hi. Something that's come into my life at the moment is Substack. Any thoughts about if there's a correlation with using that as well, or is it totally separate, please?
So
Not
I'm not a Substack expert. Are you, Peace, at all?
I've got an answer for you. My
Great.
friend has a blog on Substack. She writes anonymously. She's been doing it for about a year.
Yep.
She's in the US. Mamma Mia contacted her. She'd never heard of Mamma Mia, hadn't pitched to them. But for anybody who's not from Australia, Mamma Mia is a massive platform. And
Yes.
yeah, they asked her permission to republish one of her articles. And then she gained a whole heap of new subscribers and more people were reading her content. So yeah,
Lovely.
I do think Substack is
Oh,
a great platform if you're thinking about that content that you're putting on
yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Substack is another one of those platforms, and it's growing all the time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. And we have a question. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name.
Hi, my
Can
name's
you tell me?
Tejwant.
Tejwant. Beautiful.
Tejwant. Yes. Hi.
Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Hi. Thank you. Thanks for sending me the invite. It's the first one where I've actually been able to come in live. I've missed the other ones, but I'm glad I did. I do have a question for Candice, you, and for Peace. Candice, I am new in what I'm doing, but I know that I know the impact of that. And I'm getting a lot of people trying to ask for like paid content and stuff like that. There is one that stood out because of how many viewers they have and stuff like that. But my question is, I'm trying to understand the earned media and the paid media.
Yeah.
Because I understand like the viewer platform and what someone has. Do you pay a fee, a small fee, or not?
For earned media, you shouldn't pay a fee at all unless you're paying a PR agency or a freelance PR or a consultant to do the work for you. You're paying their professional service fee, like example, paying a lawyer, like the same kind of thing. But you should never pay for earned media content. That's why the word earned and PR is much more valuable. Paid media, you do pay a fee. Recommendations there would to start small, start with one small campaign rather than investing your whole budget in that and then not getting results. So just start small and dial up and dial down as you grow.
So if it is where they reach out for thought leaders for the coming year, and they what they've mentioned is that, you know, it's a discounted price. But what I'm trying to understand is whether to pay or not to pay, and whether, you know, whether we are ready
Yeah.
for what's coming.
Yeah. Well, it's completely up to you and your budget and your business and the stage that you're in. But try earned media before you go into just straight paid media. Like you can try send out a press release yourself, try do some stuff yourself before you invest in paid media, especially if you're not sure. And then always just go back to your gut and listen to your intuition. You know the answer as well as a woman in business.
Awesome. Thank you. I definitely have to go through the recording again to slowly, you know, pick up the pieces, because it's gold what you've given us.
Sure.
But I need to absorb everything that you've
Yeah,
said.
it was a lot of information that I was trying to get into 45 minutes that I really want you to have because it's so important. And it's something that I shared with men and women actually a week ago for the first time. And the feedback's been great. And I just really wanted you to have that. So I know it's a very high level. And I'm happy to answer any questions on LinkedIn or via email as well, because I know I shared so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. And
Amazing.
please, can I ask you, I've just recently been nominated,
Yes.
and I've missed all the informations about, you know, the tours and basically everything. Could I please get those details? I'd
Yes, I'm going
appreciate
to put
it.
your name down and I'll send you an email.
Yeah, and I did watch the episodes, and the episode 3 where they had the QR code, because I watched it after, I
Yes.
filled out the form, but I haven't received, the marketing.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with
Yeah.
Laura and Emma.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and they'll
Thanks.
help you. Beautiful. Thank you. Tanya, you have your hand up. Hello.
Hello again. Candice, I'm curious, are there any collaborative type of things I should be doing from a marketing perspective? Like, should I be doing the thing where I share for someone else and they share for me, like those type of scenarios where I work with other people to help, many hands make light work? Or is it better to not invest my energy into that?
You can definitely collaborate as long as you see value for yourself and for them. It needs to be mutual. The energy needs to be mutual. You need to feel good about it. They need to feel good about it, but don't put too much time into it. So if you are going to be arranging a call about collaboration, maybe do like a 15 or 20-minute call instead of putting an hour call into your calendar, just so you
Right.
can see if you connect and if there is going to be a value exchange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it needs to be mutual. So it is great. It is a form of earned media that you can do those kind of exchanges, but just make sure that it is mutual for both parties so that everyone's happy and that you are both helping each other.
Lovely. Thank you.
Sure.
Hoosie has a question for us. Hey, Hoosie.
Hello, Peace, and thank you so much, Candice. Hello, lovely ladies. I have a question, and it is about my business has evolved into the next phase, which is fantastic, and I'm thinking that it is important to get the message out there to be concise about what it is that I'm doing. And with the different platforms such as LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., I think to myself, where do you start? And I know there's so many great strategies that you've provided. And I think when you are pivoting or when you are starting off, where is a good place to start? Maybe the 3 next steps so that it's not overwhelming.
Yeah. So I would start with LinkedIn, but then are you B2B, B2C? It depends on if you B2C, then it would be more relevant to start on like Instagram and then move to LinkedIn. So it really just depends on your business and the industry you're in. But LinkedIn is really good from a brand authority and SEO, and it is starting well in AI. So I would say start there. Really just start with one at a time, or it's going to get too overwhelming. Like honestly, with everything in life, being woman and if you're a mother as well or anything like that, it's just one day at a time. And the same thing that when it comes to platforms, just start with one and go from there. Once you have finessed the one, move on to the next.
Thank you.
Sure.
Great advice. Jenlyn, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, good. So good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I'm so glad that my second my mic wasn't muted. Usually I do that and I did a whole podcast muted one time, ladies, for an hour and nobody said
Oh no.
you're on mute. And it was infamous, right? So I had a quick question about you're talking about infrastructure, right? And I think I have a theory, and I just wanted to throw it out really quick, that the algorithms change, of course, constantly. However, infrastructure is infrastructure. And if there's a center core infrastructure, like say Facebook is mainly originally was made for communities, family group types of communication and events and those sorts of things, that if you're doing that kind of media and you put it on Facebook, that core algorithm is still going to pick you up and spit you out into the, mainstream of what it's picking up. Is that a good theory, or, is that not true at all?
So
you know?
it's good to start somewhere. So it's all about
Mhm.
trial and error when it comes to the marketing for each of your
Right.
individual businesses will be different. So
Mhm.
see what's working and see what's not working when it comes to, so try that, see if it works for your business. It may not work for
Mhm.
everyone's business specifically. So really it's just about trial and error when it comes to learning what works best for your business.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
So
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And a special thank you to you, Candice, for presenting today. So
thank
much really
you.
valuable information. And yeah, it's exciting. It's a little bit overwhelming, but
Yeah,
we stay in that excited energy, and we're just going to take that small first step and keep going. But any
exactly.
final tips to leave us with, Candice?
So just if you are feeling overwhelmed and you want to reach out, I'm happy to answer any questions. And just remember that it is exciting and it's something that it's achievable. So even if you're not putting out a press release or you're not pitching to media, you can write a post for LinkedIn and you can write a long form blog post if you have a blog. So start with small, achievable steps.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much again, Candice, and thanks everyone. I'm actually doing another one of these episodes tomorrow on how to write your application for the awards. So if you have already submitted your application, you're all set. But if you want to come along and we'll do some co-writing together to get those applications in, that's happening tomorrow. So I'm going to send out a calendar invite shortly. You come along. Well,
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thanks, Candice. And thank you,
Bye,
everyone. We'll
everyone.
see you all again soon. Bye.
Bye.